So here's some more Painter, backed by popular demand. So, naively, I actually thought that you guys would kind of be bored with the Painter Let's Look At that I put up earlier this week, the Painter Quick Look, if you will. But actually, the response has been pretty good, and it seems like most of that was, as a result of you guys laughing at my admittedly laughable artistic skills. So I actually have a lot more footage of this game recorded, and I thought I'd, find a way to release it now so you guys could, have some more good times at my expense. So, at the end of the last video, I said he wants me to paint Starry Night. That's not happening. Well, in fact, it actually did. This is also a good opportunity to show off more of the game, because I actually kind of oversimplified things when I talked about it last time, and made it look like all you did was, create recreations of famous works of art. In fact, this is actually not the main focus of the game. These are kind of like the tutorial levels, and, the tutorial levels go on for a really long time, if you will, like maybe a couple hours, just based on the amount of time it takes you to actually paint these paintings, depending on the quality of the job you're doing. But Luigi here, when you're recreating those famous paintings, is really only the second part of 4, and actually the fourth part of 4 we won't get to see in this video, but that's the meat of the game, and I'll talk about that more when we move on a little bit further. So you can see, I really don't think my Starry Night is as bad as my girl with the pearl earring, and we'll see how Luigi feels about that too. I can't remember how much money I get for this. $700, that's not too bad. To move on to the next section, you need $1,000, which I don't have right now. But because I've done 2 paintings for Luigi, he tells me that I can go see his cousin Mario, and that would be the third section of the game. But again, I need $1,000 to buy into Mario's operation. So let's get on to desecrating the Mona Lisa here. I love how in the first video, all the comments, or several of the comments, are like, "Don't worry, guys, at least we still have the Mona Lisa." Well, not for long. This one, I think, turns out to be by far my worst painting, and that is actually saying a lot. But, to be honest, I'm not throwing these on purpose. I'm trying to make them look as close as I can to the original. I just have really poor artistic skills. Look at my forest here. That looks like a forest, right, guys? If you, had really severe glaucoma, you could buy that that's a forest. One thing I noticed when I was drawing this is, I never realized how much detail there was in the background of the Mona Lisa. Thought it was all about the lady's face, but I guess not. And yeah, here's where things start to go off the rail. The background looks horrible. I mean, we can all agree on that, but look at the silhouette I've created for her right now. It looks like she has a horrible hunchback. Anyway, so once I inevitably get probably almost no money for this, we can move on to Luigi, we can move on to Mario. And Mario's operation is a little bit different from Luigi's. In Mario's operation, we do still get paid based on how good our paintings are, and they are still recreations of famous works of art. But we also, we get paid based on how fast we do them. He's kind of like a, I don't know how you would say it. He's kind of like an assembly line painter. He wants things out as quick as possible, or a mass production painter. Oh man, this is awful to watch. The eyes just haunt my soul. I was never good at drawing noses either. This one is actually probably one of my worst, but still. Her pupils are so dilated. 325 bucks, that's not too bad for 8 minutes of work. I can make a living on that. So yes, now we'll be able to move on to Mario, and we'll talk about him a little bit more now that we're here. You have to pay him $1,000 to get into his operation, and then again, you get paid based on the recreations that you do, based on 1, how good they are, and 2, how fast they are. So we'll be able to see that as I get through this. This is just more lead-in if you don't want to read it. This is just a little bit of story. Basically, he's explaining that, in a hotel, there's a landscape painting in every room, and that's where we come in. We're the ones who paint those. So after we move on from there, we'll start on our first recreation. And this one shouldn't be too hard, because it's mostly white, a little bit of light blue. But you can see that I've got a time counter up in the top left. And that's going to really start to go fast once I crank up the speed on this recording. Yeah. So we can get a maximum of $4,000 within the first minute. That doesn't mean we get $4,000 if we finish it in the first minute. That just means if our painting was, absolutely perfect, we'd get $4,000 if we finished it in a minute. Now, once that minute goes by, the maximum payment ticker starts ticking down rapidly, and it really motivates you to finish it, because you can see how quick that's going down. Obviously, this is a sped up recording, but it actually was not much slower in real time. And so that's as good as I'm going to do with that. 355 bucks for that is not too bad. And then we'll move on to the next one. This is just going to be a painting of a couple bananas, and this is actually, I think, probably by far my best work that I've done in this game, even though it doesn't look fantastic. And this will be the last one I'll show off for now, but after we finish with Mario, we can move on to the real meat of the game, which is actually exhibiting our work for galleries. In order to get into those galleries, we have to please a board of directors with work from our portfolio or work from that we paint for them originally. So the cool part about that is that every director, you need to get a certain amount of directors to get into the gallery. So you might need to get two or three out of 4 to give your painting a thumbs up to get exhibited. But they all have different characteristics, and as time goes on, you figure those characteristics out. So there's no way I'm painting that fruit painting. That's way outside of the scope of my skill. But yeah, so you kind of get profiles on these gallery directors, and that allows you to tailor your paintings to them. And hopefully I'll do another Let's Play of Painter, and we'll be able to see that next time. Thanks for watching, as always.